All right. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. All right. Let's get this show on the road. I have been absent. I apologize. There we go. Let's get this going. Oh. Uh, let's see here. Let's see here. Um, refresh. Is it working? Where's that window at? Huh. Give me 1 second. Let's get this figured out. Okay, hold on 1 second. How do we get the chat here to load? Let's see. We need link. Okay. Um, there's the fake test message. It's not detecting that I have. Uh, let's see if this will work here. All right, let's get this to work. Hold on. Refresh that. Like last. That's active. Okay, the YouTube is synced. Okay, I think we're good on YouTube. All right, I think we're synced up here. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today marks the. Let me make sure I've got the Twitch. Hold on. Alrighty. The streaming streak? I'm not exactly sure. We'd have to go tally it up. I just don't think the Twitch is working appropriately. Getting logged into the Twitch here. All right. All right. Refresh. Okay. Let's see. The fake test messages are working, just not the Twitch ones. Keeps making me sign into my Twitch. Oh, come on. Well, this is kind of annoying if I gotta go through this whole process every stream. Can I paste it? Come on, work. Yeah, we can see the Twitch viewer count. Where's this pop-out window? It says it opened a pop-out window, but I don't see it. All right. Well, I think it's probably okay, I guess. Hey, Poopachu, how's it going? Welcome in on the Twitch. What's going on, Bailey Davis? Alex, how's it going? Tim, Mr. Tim, back again. Zanab Khan, welcome. Mr. Mahan, welcome back, you guys. Appreciate you guys being here once again for the stream as we get this going. I'm just trying to get my sources figured out here. I'm signed in appropriately to the Twitch here. All right. So today is a cool day because we actually had made affiliates on Twitch. So I got the email this morning. I woke up and it said, you have been selected to be a Twitch affiliate, and we went ahead and signed up. So now we're a Twitch affiliate. So we are officially, doing the whole ad over there, and we'll see what happens with that. Going full streamer mode over here, you guys. Level upgrades, people, upgrades. What's going on? Let me grab my headphones so we can get some music going for this stream, and then we'll get started on the project and some LeetCode for today. Let me grab my headphones here. All right. We don't have any, the Twitch chat's not working though. So maybe it'll just take a little bit to sync up and load or something. I'm not exactly sure, but there's the cat out there. What the cat doing? What's the cat doing? The cat is not impressed. That's funny. You guys are funny. Cracking me up. All right, how's everybody doing this evening? Welcome. Let's go ahead and take the webcam and see if I can't. Move chat into here. It's a little bit better. So let me make it with, yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay. That looks awesome. That looks great. Okay, sweet. Woohoo! I only have one cat and one dog. That's enough for me. I'm really annoyed this Twitch isn't working. Why isn't it working? Refresh. Settings. Clear cache and storage. Auto activate on startup. Oh, it wasn't viewing. Let's see if we can't just add in a live source. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why isn't the Twitch working? Hmm. All right, now we're getting it because I just had to add it in directly. It's like a direct line, basically. Okay, whatever. We're good now. All right, welcome in everybody to the stream. I appreciate you guys bearing with me and joining me for that little debugging session and getting the chats working. It seems like every day we're having to figure this stuff out, so hopefully we'll get better at it over time here. Let's go ahead and get some tunes going for this stream, and let's get rolling here.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Ad, come on.
Okay, you ready?
No, I'm not ready. All right. There we go. How many bears a Russian citizen have? Okay. Let's see here. Got my daily check-in coin, okay. this guy. You're given two non-empty linked lists representing two non-negative integers. The digits are stored in reversed order, and each of their nodes contain a single digit. Add the two numbers and return the sum as a linked list. What? You're given two non-empty linked lists representing two non-negative integers. The digits are stored in reverse order. Each of their nodes contains a single digit, and the two numbers so this would represent 243, this would represent 546 in a linked list. So we have to travel through each pass. They're stored in reverse order. Okay, so as you travel through, you have to give it an increased magnitude. So this would be 2 plus 40 plus 300 plus 1,000s plus 10,000s. Okay, so base 10 here. 10 to the power of 0, 10 to the power of 1, 10 to the power of 2. Okay, so we're going to say while. Let's go to the whiteboard first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Why isn't that working? All right, let's keep moving here. Okay, so basically we have two linked lists, right? Let's say we have 2, 4, 3, and we have, let's say we have 3, 5, right? So this is going to represent 342, and this is going to represent 53. Add those together, and we get, what is it, 395? Okay. So we want to travel down the list, multiplying each value by a 10 to the power of some I value as we iterate through. So while there is either or, we're going to do this. Okay, so total is equal to 0 while L1 and L2 if L1, right, we're going to we have a count, or we'll have index equal to 0. If L1, we're going to so if you have an L1, we're going to multiply it by if L1 total plus equals to L1 dot value times 10 to the power of I, or index, right? So if L1, if we have an L1 node that we're on, we're going to go into our total variable and increase it by the value of level 1 times 10 to the power of index. Right, and then the same thing happens right for level L2. So while you have either or of them, and then we'll set L1 equals to L1 dot next, and L2 equals to L2 dot next. Okay, so what's going on here? So we're having a total equals 0 and an index equals 0. While there is values, while either of them are not none, so while level 1 or L1 or while linked list 2, okay, either or, we're going to need to do a pass through. So L1 can be none, L2 can be none, but we have to have a value for either or. If L1 is not none, right, we're going to increase the total by the level 1 value multiplied by the base 10 to the power of this index. So on the first pass, the 2 will be multiplied by 10 to the power of 0, which will be multiplied by 1, so 2 times 1. 4 will be multiplied by 10 to the power of 1, which would be 10 times 4, so this will be 40. And then this will be 10 to the power of 2, which will be 300 here. And we sum that for 342, sum these ones, and we get it. Then after this, we are going to return total. Dang it. Oh, it wants a list. Oh, it wants it in list form. Times the index. What are you guys working on tonight? How are you guys doing this evening? While either or, if L1, if L2. Multiply this value by 10, this value by 10. Increase total by that amount. So if we're on here and on here, we want to set this as a place. Okay, so then let's do total is a list on index 0. So we'll go like this, sub total is equal to 0. If level 1 will increase the subtotal by that amount, if level 2 will increase the subtotal by that amount, and then we'll set total at index total index is equal to subtotal, and return total at the end. So we start off at 0. So then we can just actually do total dot append subtotal. Seven tenths is not a valid value for these. So it's doing sum 7. Seven, 10, 7. Okay, so now it's just summing them individually. Oh, we're not increasing index. So 7, 100, 700 not valid value. Oh. This would be 40 plus 60 is 100. So if it's 100, we'll put 0. So if it's divisible, so we'll say this. If subtotal modulo 100 is equal to 0, we're gonna total dot append 0. So in this case, we evaluate the 2 and the 5. We add that, we say, okay, 2 times 10 to the power of 0 is 2. 5 times 10 to the power of 0 is 5. Add those together, we get 7. That's that value there. Here, we take 4 times 10 to the power of 1 is 40, plus 6 times 10 to the power of 1 is 60. Add those together, that's 100. We place the 0 here. But then we need to carry the 1 over. So if we append a 1 as well, so if this was 10, we put a 0 here. So if it modulo by 10, you put a 0, you append the subtotal, you append 0, then you total dot append 1, and then you, in this case, you would append the subtotal, you go into that index, so if the subtotal is modulo by 10, meaning that you are on a factor of 10, 100, 1,000, and whatnot, you append a 0 and you append a 1 right after it to carry the 1 over. So then you need to try sub go into total index of index plus equals to subtotal, right? Unless you get an index error, except for index error, we're going to go total append subtotal. So if we try, we're going to carry the 1 over here by appending a 0 and appending a 1 directly after that. In the case where we don't get this and we want to just append the value to the next magnitude level, we're going to try to access that index in the list to see if there's been something carried over. Except for an index error is raised, we're going to just append the total that index wasn't there, and then increase the index here. So then do we want to increase the index at every pass? Okay, so we got 7, 0. Okay, we got 7, 0, 1, 0, 1. So in the case of the 3 gets selected, the 7 gets selected. Oh, so we need to multiply. Okay, so if level 2 next, you say subtotal, we append the 1. We want to take the 1. So we want to take the 1 and then hey Coder, how's it going? Right, that's going to be hundreds. 0, 1, 2, 3, or thousands. Yeah, this is a linked list. 2-minute ad on Twitch. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the 7 is being, so we go to the 2 and the 5. Okay, we say we take those values, we multiply them by, we can add them together and multiply both of them. So let's try this. So we'll say, let's say that no matter what, let's just sum the values together. So we'll say, while level 1 value is equal to level 1 dot value if value else 0. We'll do the same thing for level 2, list 2 dot value if list 2 dot value else 0. We'll say subtotal is equal to level 1 value plus level 2 value. We're then going to subtotal magnitude adjusted is equal to subtotal times 10 to the power of index. So that'll take the 2 and the 5, add them together, and make 7. Multiply it by 10 to the power of 0, which will be 1, and that's what we get 7 right here. Next, we move on to 4 and the 6. We add those together to get 10, and we multiply that by the index of 10 to the power of the index. So it'll be 10 times 1. We get 10 times 10 for a magnitude of 100. So we'll say carryover equals to 0. Okay, we'll say if subtotal magnitude adjusted is equal to modulo 10 is equal to 0, then we're going to increase our carryover by the subtotal magnitude adjusted divided by 3, or divided by 10, right? So that's the carryover. So then we're going to say total dot append subtotal magnitude adjusted plus okay, no, it's not going to do that yet. We're going to take this, put it here. We're going to append the subtotal. Right, we're going to append the subtotal no matter what, right off the jump. So 100 would get pinned, right? Or so if they're then we're going to append 0 and calculate a carryover, and then continue the loop, or say else we'll append the subtotal magnitude adjusted itself this goes. So you add like, if you add 9 and 9, like let's say these are, it should be, if it's 900 plus 900, right? Then we're needing to add it's 18. So we get 18 for this. We multiply 18 by 1,000 to get 1,800. We then say, or sorry, by 100 to get 1,800. Right, because this would be index 2. Okay. So then we have 1,800. The remainder of this would be 8. So if subtotal magnitude versus modulo of 10 is equal to 0, it's greater than or equal to 0, we're going to append a 0. Do the carryover, which is how much is left over. My output must also be a linked list. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I didn't even see that part. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, so then we can just override one of the current lists. Or return back. So we have to create a head is equal to a list node. So then we'll say, rather than appending, we'll say that the head.next is equal to this. Okay, so we have a subtotal of 0 on every pass. So we take the values 2 and 5, we add them together to get a subtotal of 7. We need to take this value and multiply it by its magnitude. So 10 to the power of 0 to give us a subtotal of 7 still. So 7 modulo 10 is not 0. So we're going to append just that value there as the 7. So we're going to go head dot next is equal to subtotal mag adjusted dot value, right? Are we saying that the value is equal to that for the next node? So we take our head this list node. We then need to create a new node for this space, right? That we're going to attach to this. So subtotal magnitude adjusted. Okay, so now what is that we have so if the magnet, so this, let's say we have 7 here, magnitude is 0, so we just add that on. So we say that new node dot value is equal to the subtotal magnitude adjusted, and then we move on from there. Oh, and then assign head dot next is equal to new node, and we save head is equal to new node. So then we just need to figure out this, adjust this part here. So let's say that if it's 10 or greater, right? So in the case of this one, we have 10. If it was 9, we would just append so this is 10 which represents also the value of magnitude of 10. It's for subtotal. So we need to append a 0 and carry over a 1. Our carryover is our 10 times index then. So then in this case we have 7 for 700, but we carried over a magnitude of 100. So we need to get the magnitude of 1 carryover. So we'll have to say then we got a subtotal, which would be 10. Okay. So if it's greater than this would be 40, sorry, times 60, so this would be 100. So we need to Are you live in Sunday? Hey, Wrong, what's going on? Sorry, not sure what you mean. Okay, so then I'm trying to figure out this magnitude part. So then if we're going from 2 so on this one 5 and 2 adds up to 7 for the subtotal. Okay, we multiply the subtotal by the magnitude factor to get to its adjusted value, which in this case would be just 7 still. This would add to 10 and be adjusted to 100. This would add to 7 and be adjusted to 700. So how can we determine what to carry over to the next pass and when to sum it? So in this case, we summed to 7 and that didn't have anything difference. What's that indicator? So this one we summed to 10. If we would have summed to 90, we would just have taken the 9 value. So so we'll go like this. We'll say magnitude is equal to 10 powered by the index. Right, we multiply this by the magnitude. We say if subtotal mag adjusted so we're saying I moved it to 100. So we need to figure out how much to carry over. So we need to take our 100. We need to carry over 100. Our ones, the ones place. So right. So in the next place we have 700. We're not carrying anything over. So if you modulo because like in the case of if it was 9 and 9, you would have 90 plus 90, so it'd be 180, and you would need to carry over the 18 and leave the 0. So right? It's 9. Carry over the 1. You take the 18. Yeah, I'm doing some LeetCode, Orion. I'm trying to solve this one at least. Not doing too hot here. Not doing too hot here, that's for sure. Let me go to my dashboard. Make sure I've got everything here. Thanks for the follow, Mantris, on Twitch. Thanks so much. Okay, so let's think here. Let's draw it out. Okay. So we're on 2. We have 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 4. So this is the ones. This is the tens. This is the hundreds place, right? So we're going to sum these together. We're going to multiply them by their factor. Okay, 7, 100, 700. 807 total. Okay. I just need to carry over a value. So we've calculated this 7. It's not greater than or equal to the current magnitude, right? Which is the 10 to the power of. So on this one, we'd have to divide by 100. That gets carried over to here. So what if it was just 9 and 9 here? We would get 9, right? 18 times 1. That would give us 18 here. We would save the 0. And then, no, 8 would go here and then 10 would go over. So you divide by, so in the case of like 9 and 9, for the ones place, let me go, where's my music going? Where'd my tunes go? And so we have a 9 and 9. These get summed as 18. We take the modulo of this by 10 to the power of I, which gives us 8. Right, a remainder to carry over. No, the 8 would be what we have left, and we carry over what's left. Okay, so we would go, we sum the two values together. We determine a subtotal, right, by summing them together. We multiply that subtotal by a magnitude, right, like so. We then determine a remainder. Modulo by the magnitude. Okay. If remainder, so if there's a remainder, we want to take that value, right, and append it or set it to the node value. So Hey developer Magish, how's it going? Okay, so we're on each pass we're creating a new node. We're gathering a subtotal. We're adjusting it by the magnitude, finding out a remainder for this portion. So we'd have a remainder on the 9 and 9 for the ones place, we'd have a remainder of 8. That would get appended. So we're going to append the remainder, right? And then have the carryover be so the remainder is 10 in the next one, right? For the carryover, it gets summed to the subtotal. So in the next pass, so 6 and 4, so 40 and 60 get added together for 100. We modulo that by 100. We get 0 for the remainder. So we need to carry over the entire value. And add it to the shoot. Hey NordPie, how's it going? Welcome back in on the Twitch. I appreciate you being here again. We're close, but I just am not getting this last little part of the carrying over of the value or something. So we get the current values of the nodes. We create a subtotal off of them. We adjust that subtotal by the current magnitude of our iteration. So the 40, the 4 and the 6 become 10, which then becomes 100 for this hundreds place. We are then going to take the value and find a remainder given the current magnitude. If it was 11, we would leave the 1, carry over a 1. Because if it's 11, if we're on 11, what do we do? So we on 11, that becomes 110. Shoot. I kind of want to go to the gypt here to get some coaching. I just not following. Okay, so if we're on, in the case of 2, 4, 3, and in the case of 5, 6, 4. Okay, we have our sections of magnitude here. So our index is equal, this is the 0, the 1, the 2 for our I. Okay, so this becomes 7 for the ones place. Right, which is 2 plus 5 times 10 to the power of 0, which equals to 7. Okay, there is no, if this was 10, we would save the 0 and move the 1 over here, right, to be then 10 becomes 11 times 10. So if the so we need to take 7 modulo 10 to the power of 0, which would give me 0. Right? Oh no, 7, I'm sorry. Right, that's so we get 7 back from that. which would be the number given. So if it's 0 or less than this, you carry it over. So that's 7, so that stays as our linked list, no carryover. So on this portion, we go 4 plus 6 times 10 to the power 1, which equals to 100. Go 100 modulo 10 to the power of 1, which equals to 0. So if it's 0, if 0, save 0 as value, right? Save 0 as value, and then carryover equals to the magnitude. Then here you do plus carryover. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so we're going to take the subtotal, multiply it by the magnitude, take this subtotal modulo by the magnitude, right? If remainder equals to 0, right? Carry over is equal to the magnitude. We're going to sum plus carryover on this. Plus carryover. Remainder equals that. If remainder equals 0, carryover equals magnitude. Else index goes up, the new node value carryover new node dot value equals to 0. So if it's greater than 10, you find the remainder. Set the value to 0. You move forward to the next node. Now I got an infinite loop. Um, Hi, bro. Which language should I learn to make more laptop games? Um, I'm not sure. I've never made a laptop game. How's it going? Welcome in at UV Animation Bucket. Welcome Kartik Singhal. Welcome, you guys. How you guys doing? I appreciate you being here. Let me go to... Let me go to this real quick. Let me make the background just transparent. Copy. Let's give it a test. Oh, cool. Nice. Okay. Steve. All right. You guys like to chat behind the wall like that, or in its own way? I don't know. Let's go back to what we had before. Why isn't that working? Oh, there we go. Copy. Paste. Oh, what the heck? Make entire page partially transparent. Being transparent anymore. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, good. So we look at that, I guess. I'll shift. Alright, whatever. All right. All right, let's see. Where are we going wrong with this one here? All right, we spent too much time on it now. We spent over an hour on it. So let's go here. What's this called? Number 2. I am working on LeetCode number 2. I don't want you to show me code, but instead coach me given my current understanding and level of level. Here is my current attempt. I am iterating through and trying to multiply the subtotal by the magnitude iteration, but I am having trouble dealing with the carryover amount. You're really close to cracking the core logic here. It's just a matter of reshaping how you think about the carryover and simplifying the magnitude adjustment. First, a few key observations with your current code. You're using magnitude math 10 times power of index, which is great if you were building a raw number, but since the problem wants you to return a linked list node by node, you don't need to think of powers of 10 directly. The carry naturally takes care of it. You're adjusting the subtotal by magnitude, but in this context that can lead to wild values when magnitude increases. Consider keeping all the values base 10, and base 10 just place by place. Mental model. You're simulating column by column addition like on paper. Right, 7, 10. It's carried over. 8. Okay, so now let's think about it like this. Let's go like this. Let's restart here. Come on. Oh, my music's really loud now. Why did it jump up like that? Thank you for reminding me. Not sure why it jumped up like that. Have I done web development? We're a little bit, not too much. I mainly do backend in Python. This is our current project, our thin layer chromatography simulator. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I made this simulator for a thin layer chromatography that you would visualize in a lab. You would do this experiment in a lab actually on physical paper and medium. So it looks pretty cool so far in relation to your solvent growth at the y-axis here. And so this is our current program that we're trying to expand to a front end right now using fast API and whatnot, but we're working on just some LeetCode right now. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so then let's go like this. So while level 1 or level 2, okay, subtotal is equal to, or let's go back, hold on, sorry. I'm gonna take this new node, or create a subtotal. Okay, so new node is equal to the, see, I don't know about the chat over here like this because it makes it hard to see the code sometimes. What do you guys feel about the chat? Like, I'm having trouble. I keep going back and forth on where to put it because I don't want it to cover up a lot of the code, but it is. All right. So we're creating a subtotal. Okay. So remainder equals to so remainder equals to subtotal modulo by 10. Carryover is equal to subtotal modulo 10. So we calculate the carryover and add it each time on the next pass. So then what we'll do is we'll say new node dot value is equal to subtotal head dot next is equal to new node head is equal to new node, and we call return head dot next. So current equals to head equals to head current dot next equals new node current equals new node, like that. Don't even need an index. Run. Memory limit exceeded. So we create a new node. So at the very start we create a head, and then we create a copy of head here. Okay. We then head node dot next equals current. Head node dot next equals current. So current equals new node. So we say current is to the next node. Or no, let's just say it's a reference to head. Okay, so I feel like we're pretty close here. So while new node is equal to, we create a new node, we then get the values of our current left and right. We get a subtotal by adding the carryover. We reassign the carryover to the remainder. We assign the value of the new node that we created at each iteration to the subtotal. We then go current.next is equal to new node. Current becomes new node. We return head.next. So did you forget something that you need to make it proceed and not an infinite loop? We need to move level 1 and level 2 forward. So level 1 equals level 1 dot next. Level 2 equals to level 2 dot next. if level 1, else none. So we move them forward. What happens when the carryover, if the subtotal is less than 10? Oh. If subtotal greater than 10, we're going to go and get a carryover, right? We don't need to get a carryover if it's not. Yeah, so you only get a carryover if you're greater than 10. So new node dot value. So then we're saying if none type object has no attribute val. If level 2, if level 1. Seven, 10, 7. Okay, so if the subtotal is greater than 10, the new node dot value is equal to 0. If it's greater than or equal to 10, right, the new node value is equal to 0. Carryover gets set. Else that, and then we move the other things forward. So I'm getting 7 here. So carryover becomes subtotal modulo 10, which becomes 1. So carryover 0 at first. Carryover becomes subtotal, which is 10, modulo by 10, which is 1. So why are we adding 1 to the carryover value? Found a hilarious function from a very, very young dev. Let's go ahead and move that YouTube chat to the top right then. Then I'll make the width 400 of YouTube chat. Make the width of my laptop webcam. All right, we'll just leave it up there. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I could make it the full length. we can make it pretty much taller. So height of, let's say, 600. There's that. Hey UB, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks so much for coming in on YouTube. I appreciate you joining me here. Welcome, welcome, my friend. How you doing? I appreciate you so much for being here. My name is Michael. I'm 26 years old. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. And I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company where since I graduated back in 2021. Hey, we hit 1,800 subs! Woo! Nice. Oh, I didn't get a screenshot for the Discord. Dang it. That doesn't mean go and unfollow, but thank you guys so much for the subs. And oh, that's awesome. Let me go ahead and get a screenshot here for the Discord. 1,800. Woohoo! You guys got to leave a like on chat for that. Let me go here to the creator dashboard, I guess. 1803, we're moving up. Thank you to all the new people here. I'm getting a screenshot here of our sub count for the Discord. Nice. Thank you guys so much for the follows and the subs. You guys are awesome. We're working on this LeetCode problem that we've been doing for the past hour and a half. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. Okay, so why isn't our carryover effectively carrying over? So this becomes 18. Oh, so this becomes 18. We want to put the 0 there. No, we don't. So if it is 10, we put the 0 and carry a 1. So if it is equal to 10, if subtotal is equal to 10, new node becomes 0, and we carry over, right? If subtotal, okay, so if subtotal less than 10, right? If subtotal is less than 10, then the new node dot value is equal to subtotal. And there is no carryover, right? If it is 10, the carryover is equal to 1, right? Else it's greater than. So then we'll get the remainder is equal to subtotal modulo by 10 and say that it's equal to remainder and that carryover is equal to 1. Okay, so now we're getting a 1 here. 899,001. So we're carrying over 1 too many at the very end. Okay. So we're almost there. We're really close. So if the subtotal is less than 10, we set the value and there is no carryover. And we move forward. If the subtotal is 10, we set this. Else remainder equals subtotal modulo 10. New node value is equal to the remainder. And then we carry over a 1. pasted the function in the Discord. Let me take a peek. Alright, let's take a peek here. Where is it at? I don't see it. Oh, project showcase. No. I don't see it in the Discord. Where'd you put it? Am I tripping? What happens if the carryover is set in the second iteration and not needed in the third? General Python channel. Oh, why didn't it come up for me? General Python channel. I think you might have posted it in the wrong Discord, my friend. I don't see it here, dude. Am I tripping? Python help? Nope. Wrong Discord. No worries. Okay. Let's keep the tunes going. We gotta get the tunes back. Where are my tunes? Why does it keep turning off? Hey, I like this one. Alright, did you post it? If you guys aren't in my Discord, it's linked down below in the description of my YouTube and in the description of my profile on Twitch. So join the Discord, get access to a complete roadmap of my learning materials from books, resources, notes, PDFs, all that kind of jazz. It's a great place to be. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right, let's solve this problem. This one's annoying. Okay, so we're almost there. Let's take it. Say I feel like I'm really close. You are really close, seriously, like 95% there. Your structure is solid and your understanding of how the carry digits is showing. You just have a tiny logic issue in your conditional that's causing redundant or conflicting assignments. You currently have this, but here's the catch. If subtotal is equal to 10, it's satisfied as the subtotal is less than 10, check as false. So it's less than, which it is. It satisfies the subtotal is less than 10, check as false. Okay. And then gets hit, and then hits the else. So the value gets overwritten, meaning that if else structure would suit you better. Oh, whoops. I mean just elif. Let's solve that. Let's fix the flow in plain English. If the subtotal is less than 10, you can use it and there's no carry. Otherwise, take the ones digit okay, so we can just do, I think this remainder will be 0 in the most case. That'll be 8, carry over 1. Nice refinement. You're not correctly handling the carry during the loop, and the structure looks really clean. You're on the very last step to passing all the cases. You're missing the case where there's still a carryover left over after the final node. So step by step, 9 plus 1 is 10. Node value is 0. Carry is 1. 9 plus 0 plus 1 is 10. Node value is 0. Carry is 1. Loop ends, but the carry is 1. You need to add the final node with the value. So we'll say current dot value plus equals carry. After you, oh, so if there is carryover. So if there's carryover at the very end, nice. Okay, so we had this part right, except our just conditionals with the magnitude wasn't right. So then, if it's less than 0, you carry over 0. Otherwise, you carry over the remainder 1 and a remainder is set. And then if you have carryover at the very end, so what did that last change do? Let me see who gets the plan behind the following function I found in an actual project. Sort list. If not sorted, return sorted list. Else return. No way someone wrote that. Oh, brutal. That's hilarious. That's like that meme where it's like, what's that meme where it's like, return the smallest integer and they sort first and then return index -1 or index 0 rather than just looping through and, you know, finding the smallest in O of n time. Or wait, what's the meme? No, because if you sort, it'd be log. There's some meme that keeps going around that's like that. Last change handles the leftover carry that might still be after the loop finishes. Let's break it down. Carryover, then builds a new node with the 1 digit. That's something. It passes then the 10 digits, just a 1 in that case, into the next iteration. What happens when the loop ends and the carryover is still 1? There's no more digits to add to it, so it would get dropped completely. You miss a digit. It checks if there's leftover 1 or maybe even 2 or somehow allowed higher sums. If yes, it creates a final node with that value. This keeps the math correct. So in this one, 99 and 1, 99 goes to 10. 9 plus 1 goes to 10 with a 0 carryover, so we carry 1. 9 plus 0 plus 1 equals 10, which is 0, so we carry 1. The loop ends, and the carry is lost. Output is 0, 0. It should be 0, 0. It should be 0, 0, 1 as 100. Okay. All right, we solved this one. Phew! Finally, boys. Oh, my lady. My lady's driving here, and she's not going to get here till late. She's going to be pissed. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know what you guys are working on here. Yeah, I'll take what's so we can ditch the if else entirely. So let's say, is there a way to optim further? I've already hit the optimal time and space complexity. The new linked list you're creating again, necessary start code polish. No need to create a new node first. You're creating a new node every time and assigning values after, but instead you can just say current next equals to list node subtotal 10. Use carryover equals subtotal floored by 10. Rename carrier to carry. Interesting. So you can create a list node given subtotal modulo 10. Can you show me the code for that? I want to see what it looks like. Okay, so if 0, you add the carry equals total floored by 10. Right, so if there are any, you calculate the new carry. Okay, gotcha, that makes sense. So you do the subtotal, and then you determine return head here at the end. So then what you do is you take your carry over is equal to the subtotal divided by floored by 10. Then you say that current dot next, the next node after this is you create the list node. You set the total to be the modular, the remainder of 10. So it could be 0, it could be 1. If it is 1, you get captured in this carryover here. Then you set current to next and move forward from there. So then we can remove this creation of a node altogether and run. Subtotal. So then current equals current dot next L1 plus the carry. Current dot next equals list node total bunch of 10. Or carry. Oh, okay, so you do a carry and you create a current based on this subtotal plus carryover. So it'll be 0, 0, 1, and then you create a node off that. Okay, gotcha. Alright, that's the end. That's the optimized mode. Yeah, the problem number, sorry. It's just number 2. I still don't understand this yet, but I'm enjoyed. I will start my bachelor in software engineering this year. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I have a bachelor in computer, or not computer, in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I have right, and so I graduated back in 2021, and I've been working as a formulation chemist for the past 3 years now, and I'm trying to teach myself code. I've been teaching myself for about 11 months now. Thank you guys so much for being here and joining me. Uh, Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, we solved this one. This one was not like too hard conceptually, but it was just hard, like understanding all the logic that I needed to, I had the right idea from the very jump. Like I knew I needed to go each value by each value, having while L1 or L2, right? I needed to add the values to some sort of total and then, depict some sort of carryover, but a little bit of my logic was just wrong with the magnitude and then with handling that carryover, but we were able to work through it, and this is our answer here. Woohoo! Nice. Hey, I saw you in Mr. number 1804. Thanks so much for the sub on YouTube, whoever that was. I appreciate you so much for following me here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hold on, I'm gonna call my lady friend real quick, see where she's at. Give me one sec. Oh shoot, didn't pick up. All right, you guys. If you get to the point where you have 2 linked lists, you messed up way earlier. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people say that they don't come across some linked lists in their everyday, dev work. So it's interesting how much though it comes up in these LeetCode problems. It's all the time. Woohoo! All right, so we solved that one. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and shift our focus here to our project, the TLC simulator. Right, so right now we are on our fast API initialization branch. So we were writing some index or some HTML here for handling the front end here. So let's go live. Okay, so this is the functionality we added last time where we, have the remove add compound functionality here and then the remove compound functionality. So let's go ahead and see if we can get some JavaScript written here to remove these compounds. So I obtain the compound button by its ID. So I'll say let count equals to 0, right? So on the button add for click, we're going to increase count plus equals by 1. Okay, we say if count greater than 5, how do you do these in JavaScript, these if statements? If count greater than 5, right, we don't want to do it. We want to like Hey, Future. Welcome, dude. Hey, Praddock. I'm 26. So if I want to make it so that the count, like I don't want to have you increase beyond 5 compounds, right? How could I say that? So if I say count plus equals 1, if count is greater than 5, yeah, go for it. No worries. Ask a question. Ask away. Okay, let's do the almighty arbors. Let's shift focus back to my TLC simulator. Wrap the condition in parentheses for JavaScript. Okay. Oh, that's right. So if count is greater than 5, then what are we going to do? Child nodes create, element create, range, design, forms, fonts, get element by name, icon, images. How can I make like a pop-up to like say not allowed? Else. Document dot alert. Oh, there's an alert. Okay. Message. Max compounds met. Compound limit met. Okay, so if we go, oh, let's go. Nice. Window.alert. Nice. Compound limit met. Okay. So on a click for the add compound button. So we need to give this remove compound button a unique ID though. So we go div, we create the div to wrap it in. We create the element for the input. We create the other input and create this button for new compound text content to remove compound. So I'll say new compound delete button dot class name is equal to quote remove compound button, and then how can I add in like the count here like in Python with an F string? Yeah, I know. Yeah, ask away your question, dude. No worries. Ask your question. Can someone tell if future is gonna ask? I know. Just ask the question, man. It's all good. You're not gonna get in trouble for asking the question. Okay, so how can we give the count here dynamically as a class so we can have these buttons be uniquely right, we'll say sorry ID name. We give it a unique ID. So how can I give this count, like, you know what I mean? Anybody know in chat? With the Batman language. I'm out. I'm not dealing with the Batman language. Wait, what are you trying to do? What does it need to count? So I can access it by ID when I remove, right? Because I want, if I add a compound, I want to be able to uniquely select this compound when I listen for the event. Right? I want to delete that specific dynamically created entry and entries section, right? As we're going wrap it in the backticks instead of normal quotes. 90% sure that works in vanilla JavaScript. Or just single. You need backtick and $sign. Okay. Oh, okay, so you go like this. Backtick, $sign. Like that? Oh, okay. Okay, like that. Quick way to do this is add a click event handler to the button. Then in the handler use this to get the parent. Okay, so we create the button. We give it a unique ID on the button. Or no, we need to give a unique ID to the div that's containing this. So new compound container dot ID equal to backtick new compound container dash count like such. then we'll delete that whole container if this is met. Okay, so then what we'll say is, on our script, we're going to go new compound delete button dot add event listener. Well, how can I add an event listener for any of these buttons, right? Hey, God Level, we're trying to just, I'm pretty knowledgeable in Python. We're just trying to get this thin layer chromatography simulator that I built to be, visualized on the web here. Right, so you have an RF value that's being factored against your solvent speed for developing these compounds as they soak through your medium and grow. I don't know. I just thought that that's how you had to do it for this. My knowledge is pretty limited. Right now, we're having the count be limited to 5, so you can only add 5 of them, right? And so I want to then, when they're created, if they press this dynamically created button, it'll remove this entire container, right, that I created, right, this div. I don't really know what so new compound delete button dot add event listener. So you add an event listener for a click on the button for delete, and we give it a function, right? Which says that we want to let container to delete, so let compound container to delete is equal to the document dot get element by ID this dot parent element. So let compound container to delete equal, we're going to get the element by ID. We want to get the container I don't know how to do this. Okay, so the click gives you a reference to the button that was clicked. So then can I do a document.add event listener? can I do a listen for a click on the entire document? I wouldn't want to do that. So new compound delete button, add event listener on click. We want to get the container to delete, which, I don't know. The container to delete is the document. I am adding. Backtick this is the button. Oh. Okay, so let's say it's not working. So new compound delete on click function this parent element dot remove. New compound name is not defined. Right, because I'm dynamically creating it here in this function. Yeah, right, it's limited into this else block within this function scope. So how do I, do I need to create a list of objects I've created? So let's say like let compound containers equals to, do you do a list like this in JavaScript? Do you throw them all into a list and then reference that list? So we say delete button. Just do the add event listener in the else block. So we wouldn't take this. That got rid of that error. Now this won't add. Count isn't different. now we're getting the adds. And now we're getting the removes. Aha! Okay, so now we need to, on this function, remove. We gotta reduce count. Yo! Yes! Haha. Welcome in, everybody. Move that event listener to be made right after they create backticks. Game Bacon use the var instead of let, but prefer probably add the event listener call to the else block. Okay, yeah, we did that. Okay, got you. Hey, Caden Burleson. Screw programming. Tell me why prokaryotes can't do nitrogen fixation. Oh, well, I mean, I think you're a little bit worded incorrectly. I think it's not all prokaryotes can do nitrogen fixation, and I believe it's because they lack the ability to synthesize the enzyme organically nitrogenase. Let me look it up. Is it nitrogenase is the enzyme? Prokaryotes do perform nitrogen fixation, but not all of them. The ability to fix nitrogen fixation restricted bacteria. Nitrogenase. Yeah. Flashback to plant biology in my junior year. Plant physiology. That class was tough, dude. Plant physiology is no joke. It seems kind of like, oh, plants, funny. But dude, physiology of plants is no joke. It's so much different than, you know, humans and mammals that it's like a whole nother language. You know, some of them have like asexual reproduction, and it's really nuts. Okay, so now we have the ability to add compounds. We get an error. So you guys said that this alert message is pretty ugly. What other options or does JavaScript allow for, you know, if we were to not allow for the additional compounds? Ooh. Why is our DOM also missing information? How can I see the variable? Can I see all the variables that we're currently tracking? HTML computed. Show all. Count. So it kind of gets broken. Like if I add 5 and then remove 5 really quickly, add 5, it only gives me 4 there. So The event listens happen too quickly. Disabling the button? Oh, disabling the add compound button itself. Okay, so then best professor I ever had was a plant bio class, 3XX and 4XX level. Somehow made it fun. Robert Wallace. I still don't love it enough to stick with it. The plant, dude. Let me tell you, plant physiology and bio was rough. CRISPR-Cas9 is that? Well, CRISPR is what the DNA cells and whatnot. The cells of the wells. I mean, I didn't do a ton of DNA stuff in college. I mainly was like in line with like the pre-med route rather than like, you know. Hey, we got a raid here of Nick Wan, Data Sci, raiding with the party of 15. Let's go. Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Michael. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me. My name's, like I said, Michael. I'm 26. I got a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. And I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company where I make biological controls for patient diagnostics. And after my 9-to-5 job every single day, I teach myself how to code. So we currently wrote this thin layer chromatography simulator here for creating and plotting simulations of TLC paper chromatography plates given certain compounds and random RF values, retention factors. So in black you have the RF value at 100% speed, whereas randomly generated, it's kind of funny that this actually randomly generated a almost perfect perfect exponential growth here, which is really kind of crazy actually. It randomly generated will generate 5 retention factors in relation to this retention factor of the solvent, and kind of traverse up and mimic that experiment. Yeah, this is Python. Hey, how's it going, Spread? I appreciate you for joining me here. So how can we solve I'm trying to now, like, my goal is to get this into a web app. I want to display these, have people be able to access this. We haven't ever done that before. I've done full to Kinter graphic interfaces with our small business manager and our community version. So as you guys can see, our small business manager, this is the app that we just finished, is completely written into Kinter that I wrote. It has the inventory, expenses, transactions, returns, and sale types of those inventory items, auto generation of income statements and balance sheets, as well as the ability to modulate the settings within the individual business parameters. So this is our previous project that I just released, and now we're working on this one here. So the thing that we're having problems with is this add compound. I want to add up to 5, but if I remove too quickly, right, it bugs out, where now it only has 4 compounds, but my limit is met. And then if I do it too quick, now I have 2 remove compound. Now I have 1 remove compound. So why is it doing that? Let's see. So we're going, if the count is greater than 5, we alert, else so we append the new compound selection section to the right, and then we add this a listen for it to remove. Try adding it in the else part. So then I'll have to have count start at 1 then. So count. So count in the else. So then we'll say remove that. So we'll increase count by 1. So now we have that. Now we remove. Okay, now it's working good. Okay. Oh, because we were moving count. Gotcha. So we'll just say 0. 4 here, we'll just stay 0 indexed. Count +1, count -1. Cool, that looks good. Yeah, right, so I was incrementing count even when the count limit was hit. Yeah. Yeah, so we started at 0 for the count. Counts be less than or greater than, if it's greater than 4, we'll alert. So let's instead say add compound button dot. How do you disable? Is there disable? Aria disabled. What does aria disabled mean? Property, string, null. So rather than having that menu, that alert pop up, we want to just actually disable the button. So if I want to go to the button itself and then do dot attribute node dot animate class name before blur closest contains get attributes on focus want remove scroll by not aria, just remove. Oh, there is a remove. Oh yeah. Well, I don't want to remove the button, I just want to disable it. Disabled equals true. Oh, hold up, what's that? Hello? Yep, I'm coming out right now. I'll be right back, you guys. Gotta have my lady friend come in. Sorry, you guys. My bad. I had to help my girlfriend bring in her bags. All right, so he says, should work disabled should be a prop of an element. So add button dot disabled equals true is what you mean. Element. Okay. Disabled equals true. Hey, nice. Cool, that worked. All right, let's go ahead and push this up. Let's go ahead and commit this. Git commit, or we'll git add. Um, front end it's not really disabled as it's still clickable. Okay. So then what other ways to do it is there, NordPy? Then within the delete button event, and do something like add compound, remove attribute, disabled. Okay, so if I go aria disabled, still clickable. Not needed here. Do set attribute. Alright, it's for blind people. Oh. Okay, so you said set attribute disabled true. Oh, there we go. Now we remove. And then we'll have add compound button dot set attribute disabled false here. So now if we refresh, go add blank, remove. No, now it's not. And then something I'm going to remove attribute. Oh, disabled. Thank you. Add. Oh, it's still there. So we can add up to 5, and then when you remove, you should this unhighlighted. So we're going to remove count -1. Add disabled false. Remove attribute disabled. Ah, there we go. Sweet. That looks awesome. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out here for tonight. I'm going to hang out with my lady friend. She's here. I appreciate you guys being here. I will see you guys tomorrow around 7 p.m. PST, where we'll continue on with our learning. My name's Michael. I'm 26 years old. I got a degree in human biology. Oh, I have my bathroom sign still up. I've got a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry, and I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company. I've been teaching myself how to code every single day after my 9 to 5 job. We're currently trying to learn fast API and get some more familiarity with JavaScript. I don't know really any JavaScript, or just very basic, front end stuff. I've been really focusing on learning, Python and back end stuff here and actual, algorithms and data structures. So we wrote this thin layer chromatography simulator, which will plot various, graphs for you. Where are they? Where is it? Why is it not popping up? What's going on here? Yeah, see? We built this chromatography simulator, and we're trying to get this into a web framework here so we can actually view this with everybody can do their own on the web. All right, you guys, I'm sorry to rush out on you guys like this, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. So please join back, follow along on YouTube and Twitch if you're here. I love streaming with you guys and hanging out every single day, learning and teaching myself. Might want to check out Reflex front end in Python. That sounds like a cool, I'll have to check that out. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. Let's go ahead and quickly just add this. So git add, git commit, add / remove compound feature. And then we'll git push this. And now we're good. And then, sweet. All right, we'll continue getting our front end working on, and then so our next feature is we now need to have a section on the right here for displaying the actual chart to you that is being generated via this Python that we have on the back end. So that'll be for tomorrow. So thank you guys so much. We did a LeetCode and